Hasward, jumping into our Week 7 Interactive Journal on the article regarding the education crisis. I'm just going to take time to answer the questions, take a deeper dive into what the article discussed, what can be done, how the technology can be implemented, how important it is, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, the first of the three questions: what exactly is the world education crisis? I defined it and said that after closely and thoroughly going through the article, the world education crisis can be described as a catastrophic reality of the lack of proper educational opportunities and progress for learning students around the world. Those reasons are consistent with many factors, but some of the most seen include those like mismanagement in funding or priority or poverty playing a crippling role. The term used to describe the reality quoted in the article is global learning crisis. The difficulties that have arisen are based on the fact that the crisis is not only from a lack of education, but also low quality education when it is accessible. Alarming statistics arise from the article, like the fact that millions of children not being able to read or understand any text by the age of 10, or the reality that many students never truly come close to mastery in essential subjects like reading or math. The world education crisis is something major. It's been going on for years. Something going on since education has been introduced to students in the learning manner or in a learning environment. A lot of the students around the world, other countries, in America, we're in a first world country where we're doing, fine, and we are advanced as a society. You take what we have and run it to a country like Pakistan or Afghanistan or Haiti, places where there's just a lot of factors in place: poverty, war, disease, fatigue. It's just a lot of things that are out of these students' controls. And you're just not going to get a proper progressive education when there's just so many factors in the way. But then you look at a place like America, we're very advanced as a society, but there's still a lot of factors in the way. Learning disabilities, hard things, focusing in the classroom, not enough teachers or manpower, not enough proper staffing or having those teachers at our staff knowing how to adequately provide the needs for each student. We're just in a sort of a crisis in terms of learning around the world. And there's a lot of things that could be done, but there's also a lot of factors that can interrupt the potential progress that those things could be bring. So it's healthy to look at it from multiple perspectives, but it's also healthy to look at it realistically and understand that this is just a problem that is going on, and it might take quite a while to fix. It might really take some diligent hard work. So the next question is, what role does technology play in this crisis? I described it as: in a growing and developing world where tech is actively incorporated in the daily lives of many, technology absolutely plays a vital role in this global crisis. The difficulties that initially arise stem from the reality that many individuals in learning environments outright have no direct access to technology because of uncontrollable limitations. Those who do have technological access also may not know how to independently navigate it consistently. The upside of technology is that it is a resource and a foundation for providing flexibility and versatility for learning. There is so much valuable information and digital resources with technology, and it is an absolute go to resource currently. Students can learn about cultures, customs from around the world, or learn about topics that are unseen or unique to them. Tech is also an endless source of information that allows students to explore interests. In the article, it is described as already playing a crucial role in providing support to teachers, students, and the learning process more broadly. They can help teachers better manage the classroom and offer different challenges to different students. When tech is accessible, consistent, and understood, it creates advancement. The article did a great job diving into the pros and cons of tech. There's so many resources, so many things that are common nowadays. And then you look at, things like AI. I mean, students sometimes don't even have to try anymore. There's a lot of accessible things. But then you look at the fact that this technology, this accessibility, it's still so far away for so many students around the world. What we have here in America with computers, laptops, Chromebooks, some students in other countries might still be using books and items from the late 40s or 50s with outdated information, outdated terminology, and they're trying to play catch up and then trying to bring this tech in that's new, modern, and expensive in places where poverty and just limitations are in the way. It's going to be an uphill battle, and it's almost like others in third world countries or just places where they don't have the access, they're always going to be at some kind of disadvantage. There's just so much catching up to do with essential learning and having the skills needed for an age group, or even trying to find a reasonable occupation. can be tricky and it can take quite a while with the limitations in place. So while the article does a great job at describing the great things and the great future outcome of technology in the classroom, it was also realistic in kind of looking at the reality that it's still a long way away for many students and it's just not a reality for them right now. And there's a good chance in some of these students' lifetimes that it never will be, which is unfortunate. The last of the questions: if you had the ability to make change and begin fixing the education crisis, what steps would you take and why? So I took some time to think about this because a lot of individuals have done so many things to kind of close this gap. I want to do something that seems original and something that goes a long way. So my saying was, if I had the ability to make change and begin fixing the education crisis, the step I would take could be that could make legitimate progress is perhaps funding some kind of global network filled with educators to lead other educators around the world so that they can in turn help these students learn the necessary core principles that they need properly. In our day and age, working in a public school setting, a lot of the complaints from our teachers, even with all the tech and all the accessibility that we have now and all the advantages, it's trying to reach each and every student and having to implement curriculum and everything and having to be caught up to speed alone without the proper help. Teachers have a huge responsibility in the educational growth of a student. So I thought, okay, maybe I could find or fund or create some kind of network where you just take individuals all around the world. They go in groups or teams and they go to different countries, different planets, different countries, different continents, different regions, different areas, and they just work with educators there. They start an educational foundation there. They work closely with educators and they teach those educators how to connect these students, how to apply to them, how to accommodate based on what the students need. It seems like it can go a long way because, I mean, here in America, we have a teacher hiring crisis. We don't have enough numbers for crucial subjects like STEM or math, especially special education. Then you take that reality and take it across the world where there's not even the right sometimes to teach and be educated for all. And it's a tricky, tricky crisis. So I also say that if there's an improvement in the teaching quality, learning outcomes may improve and create more opportunities for expanding knowledge globally. This network would not only prioritize stronger foundational skills, excuse me, but also implement strategic use of technology, not as a replacement for teachers, but as a tool to enhance higher quality instruction. Long-term investment in teachers, early intervention, and equitable access would be key steps towards meaningful change. Last but not least, I just had the reference. I just quoted in APA 7 the article that we got to go over this week. Thank you.